basically, I've done BA Economics from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. Post that, I worked for a year in project management in JP Morgan. And then I obviously interned at Wells Fargo in investment banking. Done my MBA in finance. And now I'll be working with Cognizant in banking and financial consulting. In terms of my roles, I was working in regional investment banking in Wells Fargo, which covers the US market. So there I essentially, my work was divided between daily tasks and the project. So daily tasks revolved around preparing strip profiles, deep dive profiles, or screening, which is basically scrutinizing companies and figuring out target acquisitions, for example, preparing earnings summaries, etc. And my main project revolved around creating a buy-side pitch book, a mock buy-side pitch book for a smart home company in North America. The most valuable learning, I would say, in terms of like technical learnings, I learned about this tool called FactSet, which basically provides all the financial data in a easy to use manner, all the financial statements and valuations, etc. I learned financial modeling, valuation, benchmarking, all those concepts, and obviously got to know a little basic of investment banking. Personally, I think I would say networking is something that I learned is very, very important. It's key to success. And also communication and presentation. Like it's especially in BFSI, it's very important to make very good pitches or a pitch deck or presentations as you would be talking to clients. So that is something I picked up, I would say. So since I was working on both daily tasks and my project, I divided the day into two. So I would spend, so my day basically started around 10:30 and uh, I was there in the office till 7:30, but closer to the presentation date, I obviously stayed till 10, 11 and all. But basically, I divided into two. So till afternoon, I would work on my daily deliverables. So every morning, my manager would give me some task, or I would reach out to him for the work, and then I would spend my afternoon doing that. In the evening, I would work on my project. So for that, we had like sessions with my mentor. He would look into my project and give me feedback. And at night, I would talk to my manager to both get a feedback on the daily deliverable as well as the project. So that's how I mostly balanced it. The final evaluation happens based on the project. So that is extremely important. Like that has a higher weightage because that the entire evaluation is done on that, and that's something that you're working on since day one. But and not all teams, like not all interns get daily work. So it is like it depends on the team that you're assigned to. So, but if you are getting daily work, or if you can ask for something, then you definitely should, I feel, because this helps you get connected with your team because you end up working with different people in your team. You get to know what they are working on, and they also get to know how you are as a person and how you work. And that is very important in your final evaluation as well, how your team feels about you. So that's where the daily work comes in. It helped me a lot because I have no background in finance. I've done economics, which is not the same as finance. So, especially in the first year, we had mandatory finance subjects. So there, from basics of accounting, then decision making and understanding those financial statements, all of that really helped build a foundation, as well as so these courses also go beyond numbers. They don't just focus on calculations or formulas. It also teaches you to understand the logic and the concept behind it, which is extremely important because in Wells Fargo also, I never directly calculated or jumped onto any formulas. I first had to do a lot of research, a lot of analysis, and then decide what was relevant for the analysis I was conducting and apply basically what I learned. So that way it was very useful. build a very strong foundation in accounts and finance, like I just explained. It's very important. Like you have to know financial statements inside and out, how to interpret all the terms on them, basics of valuation, uh, some basics of modeling and ratios, etc. That is firstly very important. Also, you have to keep yourself up to date with the regulatory changes and all the other trends because BFSI is heavily regulated. So it's very important to know what is happening there. And as I previously mentioned, communication presentation is very crucial soft skill that you need to have. And also tools like Power BI, FactSet, like some of these tools are very important, not just in this sector, but in any industry. So that is a must. And lastly, I would say network. You have to network. Right connections are key to just acing your internship because you also get to learn about what the other teams in the domain are working on. It helps you build your knowledge and really contribute more. So networking also.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Akanksha Mohanty. I did my undergraduation in computer science and system engineering, and then went on to do an MBA with a major in finance and a minor in IT and marketing. And then I got the opportunity to intern with Goldman Sachs for my summer internship. And within the organization, I was a part of two teams within the compliance division, and I had diverse responsibilities with regarding different projects within the different teams. As I told, I was part of two different teams. One of the teams' major work revolves around the interaction with regulators, majorly the US regulators for the firm. Therein, there were different systems for those interactions, and I was a part for reviewing the whole cycle for that uh, one of those systems wherein I had to review and analyze the access entitlements for the systems and create governance documents. Apart from that, in this team, I had few other projects regarding like different suggestions for different systems which could help the team uh, for future. And another team which I was a part of was divisional compliance. It is a compliance associated with one of the revenue making divisions for the firm. It was the project I was a part of in here. The major project was regarding a surveillance system, wherein I had to enhance the efficiency of the surveillance system. For that, I had to understand a lot about the division itself, the revenue making division itself, and then the compliance policies. Um, and I would say, like, my suggestions and governance documents after the implementation and suggesting the implementation strategies itself would have helped the teams later implement any necessary things which would have been left or which would have been required in the later stage. So I think it did help them. So I would say my first major exposure to finance was in MBA itself. So starting from cracking the interview itself, I think my base understanding for finance came with through MBA. Uh, Earlier, I used to know about the news and all everything regarding finance, but then the basic concepts came from MBA first year courses itself. And then within the organization during my internship, I would say like grasping things up became very easy and very quick for me because I had like a base knowledge about those. And particularly, if I would say the about concepts, I would say like concepts regarding trading markets, securities, the working of a bank, like specifically, those helped a lot. And about tools, I would say my major part, like work, revolved around Excel. And apart from that, Tableau and Power BI also helped a lot because I had to give them an idea about the dashboards, how it would look. So I think those helped. I would say my start was pretty smooth But then one of the major projects I was working on started, I think, in the fifth or mid fifth week in my 8 weeks internship. So I became pretty tensed for that because I did not know if I would be able to complete, if I would be able to understand the concepts, grasp things, and then go about the project. Um, but eventually, this was a major time. I think I had to prioritize things because I was a part of two teams with two different, very different projects. The prioritization did help me a lot. I knew what I need to do first, and then within the time that thing, the results come up for that, I would be able to complete the other ones. And apart from that, I think asking for help and talking to people did help me a lot. Talking to my manager, talking about my concerns, what I think, what about the goal and everything, I think helped me a lot through that phase. I think I would say when I just one fun fact that when I went there, I saw most of the people from coherent backgrounds. So, and me coming from an IT and then a finance major, I think it helped me a lot. Like I said, for the surveillance project, I think my IT skills did help me. I could understand the logic, I could understand the code, and I could help with it. And for the finance part, I think it helped me, like the base construction for all of these projects were on some understanding of some financial concepts. And I think that helped me a lot. So I think pretty easy for me to say, but then I think those things took a lot of time. I think I had given enough efforts to understand the concepts from my first year courses, which helped me later. So I would say that.